just want to thank those 6 awesome individuals from the University of Georgia Redcoat Marching Band. Good morning. My name is Bo Rutledge, and I have the honor of serving as the Dean of the University of Georgia Law School. And I'd like to welcome you to the commencement exercises to the historic class of 2024. If I could ask you, please, at this time, to ensure that your cell phones are turned off or on silent. Because today, this class will make history. It will make history for some because it will be the first university commencement they've ever had the chance to enjoy. But it will make history in another respect that we've never had in the more than 160-year history of this law school. For the first time in the history of the University of Georgia Law School graduation, the national anthem will be performed by a graduate and her father. So as you are able, may I ask you to stand for the presentation of the colors and the national anthem, who will be sung by Ms. Danielle White, accompanied by her father, Brian D. White.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Danielle and Mr. White. Please be seated. Judge Montgomery Reeves, Provost Tu, President Parks, distinguished guests, graduates, parents, colleagues, and friends. Congratulations and a job well done to the class of 2024, and welcome to your commencement. Many of you attended college at a time when a worldwide pandemic disrupted your studies, and for some of you, scuttled your undergraduate ceremonies. Whether or not this is your first such ceremony, commencements can be somewhat traditional affairs. They follow conventions. There is music. There are applause. There is, I hope, much hooting and hollering as each of you cross the stage. I've already challenged one family to break the decibel meter. They're sitting over here. There are remarks from alumni leaders, distinguished speakers, and today's ceremony will be no exception. I feel exactly that way. Additionally, at this ceremony, for each of the past 10 years, I've tried to tailor some of my own remarks to each graduating class. This is a challenging task. You all are an incredibly accomplished group, individually and collectively, winning awards, representing clients, publishing journal notes, bringing home moot court championships, just to name a few. each of you individually and your class collectively have a great deal to celebrate. So to be honest, it can be a pretty daunting task to find just the right book or just the right biographical sketch to encapsulate the advice that the dean is supposed to give. This year, though, I've decided, again to make history, I will give you no advice whatsoever. None. Not one iota. Instead, inspired by my 17-year-old daughter, Nina, who shared with me a commencement address once given by the Pulitzer Prize-winning poet Rita Dove, I'm going to make some wishes for you. Here are my 5 wishes. Wish 1. I wish for each of you an exhilarating professional life. Not unlike a doctor in an operating room, you are about to be entrusted with some of the most important matters in the lives of your clients. It is an awesome responsibility, and yet it's an indispensable part of our world. When a client looks you in the eye, confides in you their secrets, and relies on you to help them unconditionally. Second, I wish for you a deep well of resilience. The late Justice Robert Jackson once said, every lawyer will give 3 arguments. There's the argument that you plan to give, there's the argument that you give, and then there's the argument you wish you had given. And when you are filled with moments of doubt about that third kind of argument, when you lose the case that you thought you should have won, dig into that well of resilience. Your next client will need you just as much as the last one. Third, I wish for you a boundless capacity to listen. To paraphrase St. Francis, a virtuous life consists more in being in understanding than in being understood. In our polarized world, we can all stand to learn more from each other. And as lawyers, you will play an indispensable role in that dialogue. In that regard, I'd like to thank 2 of your classmates, Megan and Sydney, who were role models for me. They helped to design that Common Ground series that taught all of us to have constructive conversations about some of the most difficult decisions in the world. We can all learn the tools to better understand the views of each other, even if, and perhaps especially if, we disagree with them. Fourth, I wish you a life full of mentors. Trained in the law, you are by nature confident. And yet intellectual confidence does not always help you make decisions in life about whether to accept or change a job, how to confront an ethical quandary at work, or to balance the personal and professional dilemmas in your lives. Mentors help, whether that's a judge in Delaware, an award-winning celebrity, a magistrate in Missouri, or any of the faculty and staff, myself included, who have accompanied you on this journey and who will be with you by your side virtually and virtuously for the rest of your careers. Fifth and finally, I wish for you to find love. Yes, the kind of love that makes your heart flutter and with whom you hope to grow old. Some of you may have already found that, though the dean is sometimes the last person to know. And I actually learned from one of your parents today, and I won't name you, that apparently you have found that. When I was in your shoes 27 years ago, I had found that person in my own life. We had endured 3 painful years of a long-distance, overseas relationship in an era before Skype, and when long-distance landline phone calls cost $2 a minute. We talked once a week, we wrote letters every day, and we read the same book. In 3 months, that woman will be my wife. That woman is my wife. In 3 months, that woman and I will celebrate our 25th wedding anniversary. And from experience with her, I can assure you that no professional accomplishment in your lives will mean as much or be as powerful as the bond that you form with your partner and soulmate. And to look for that love, you need not look far. It surrounds you in this room. It is etched on the faces of families, lovers, and friends who have turned out, sometimes traveling great distances, to join you on the occasion of your commencement. So as I conclude my 5 wishes to you, let me encourage you to look around the room. Let me ask every single guest who is here to stand. And let me ask you, the class of 2024, to join me in a round of applause to thank your family and friends for being here today. Please be seated. And now, with our hearts full, let me introduce you to someone who's not only led your class, but joined me in partnership to help lead your school, Jansen Killian. Jansen Killian. Jansen attended Georgia Southern University as an undergraduate and obtained a bachelor in political science with a minor in economics. In law school, she served as class president, member of the mock trial team, Global Government Summer School, AT&T Legal Scholars, Clark Carly Inn of Court, and a peer mentor to one of her fellow students. After her law school graduation, she will join the Tillery Law Firm with Senator Blake Tillery in Vidalia. Sorry, I'm from Cincinnati, Georgia. Jansen Killian.
Thank you, Dean Rutledge, for that very kind introduction. It is an absolute honor to welcome everyone to the University of Georgia School of Law's graduation for the class of 2024. First, claps are, yes, encouraged. First, I'd like to thank the family and friends of our graduates. You have stood by us through it all, from us deciding to go to law school and applying, all the way till now, our very special day. We appreciate you more than you will ever know, and I ask for your continued support as we continue to study for the bar and take the next step in our careers. I'd also like to extend gratitude to UGA Law's faculty and staff. You all have been our biggest cheerleaders, and when we needed it, our toughest critics. You have shaped us into better students and the professionals that we are today. Your hard work to assist us in our legal careers has never gone unnoticed, and we value your guidance immensely. Now, to the class of 2024. Congratulations. The day we thought would never come finally has. Over the past 3 years, it has been a privilege to walk the halls of Hirsch Hall with y'all. Together, we have learned how to correctly cite court cases and legal briefs and memos, think on our feet by answering tough cold calls. Well, I'm still kind of working on that one, but anyways. Together, we have figured out how to negotiate business deals, argue in front of judges and juries, and zealously advocate on behalf of our clients. But we've also experienced a lot outside of the classroom as well. We have laughed like friends, fussed like siblings, and loved like family. And in all of these moments over the past 3 years, we've done it together. But when we started law school, this wasn't exactly the case. See, not one student from the University of Georgia School of Law, it comes from the same background. Our class is filled with students from all walks of life. We are from different cities, states, and countries, different socioeconomic backgrounds, different cultures, different lifestyles, and the list only goes on. But when we began our journey here, we were creative, and we found ways to implement our differences into our work and our friendships. This is a tough challenge, as this requires compromise, dedication, and kindness. And I wholeheartedly believe that the class of 2024 has mastered just this. Together, we have successfully found a way to utilize our distinctions for the betterment of our future clients, but also in establishing lifelong friendships. I once heard a Leonardo da Vinci quote saying, "It had long since come to my attention that people of accomplishment rarely sat back and let things happen to them. They went out and happened to things." I think this accurately describes every single individual who will walk across this stage today. Our graduates are exceptional, not only in the classroom, but outside of it as well. as we are constantly going and quote-unquote happening to things. Family and friends, I challenge you to ask your graduate today about what they did during law school besides go to class. This is where you will be simply astonished by the commitment and hard work that our accomplished graduates have put into their legal education. While we were juggling a multitude of reading and assignments, we voluntarily took on other opportunities to advance our education. Our students have represented our school through extracurricular activities. Many of our graduates competed on the mock trial and moot court teams. Many participated in law journals and tediously checked legal citations, as well as submitting academic work for publication. Many of our students have worked in clinics that target vulnerable individuals in our community, state, and nation. We also have students who have interned and externed in a variety of places, ranging from courtrooms and chambers to the legislature and agencies. There are even other students who left Athens to continue their studies and go to places like Washington, D.C., and even foreign countries. And, of course, we didn't learn how to navigate these successes alone, as our wonderful faculty, staff, and alumni network have assisted each of us at finding our passion in the law. This is why the University of Georgia School of Law has been ranked number 20 for the past 2 years in the entire United States. I think this deserves a round of applause. Classmates, as we depart from this institution, I encourage you to embrace your differences and your passions and find a way to implement them into your work. Justice Verda Colvin, who is a Georgia Supreme Court Justice and also an alumnus of UGA Law, presented the annual Hines Jurist in Residence Lecture last year. I had the privilege to be in attendance, and I took special note when she stated, "If service is beneath you, then leadership is beyond you." And she's right. We have been told time and time again that as lawyers, we are leaders, and the class of 2024 is no exception to that. We have graduates here today that will not only serve as attorneys, but as judges, justices, elected officials, diplomats, professors, and more. I encourage each of you to recognize that service isn't confined to a title or a certain position, but rather what positive changes that you are responsible for making. Now, this might sound overwhelming, but don't worry. During our time here at UGA Law, we have been taught how to implement these kinds of changes in our profession and our communities. Continue to use our time from law school where you found your passions to guide your call as a leader. And just as we came to this institution from different places, today we will leave this place to go on our different paths. But please take note that we will represent the University of Georgia School of Law and our time here together in whatever we do. I'd like to end today by thanking my classmates. Thank you for your kindness and for your friendship. I consider it an honor to say that I know each and every one of you, especially so I can call you in the future for advice on how to handle a case. Let's have a round of applause for our amazing class of 2024. Now it is time to introduce our next speaker. Phaedra Parks is the president of our Law School Association at the University of Georgia, and she is the true definition of a Renaissance woman. This sassy Southern belle is a successful attorney, businesswoman, author, mortician, television personality, motivational speaker, social activist, and a mother to 2 sons. As managing partner of the Parks Group, an Atlanta-based law firm, Parks practices in the areas of entertainment law, intellectual property rights, and civil and criminal litigation. Her client roster includes celebrities, high-profile individuals, and government entities. She has served as president of the Gate City Bar Association and on the advisory board of the American Bar Association. Parks has been an on-air legal analyst for media outlets such as NBC, Fox, CNN, and True TV. And she's been quoted on legal issues in dozens of publications, including the New York Times, Newsweek, and People. A passionate social activist, Parks is a tireless advocate for African American boys through her nonprofit Phaedra Foundation. She is also a regular fixture in D.C., where she works with members of Congress on implementing initiatives to provide opportunities for at-risk youth. Parks is also the author of the best-selling Secrets of the Southern Belle: How to Be Nice, Work Hard, Look Pretty, Have Fun, and Never Have an Off Moment, which provides amusing insight and tips on how to have all the charm, confidence, and grace of a true Southern belle. As a motivational speaker, Parks regularly travels around the country speaking to different groups about subjects ranging from business and law to personal growth and achieving success. She has earned a Bachelor of Arts with honors from Wesleyan College, a Juris Doctorate from the University of Georgia, and a degree in Mortuary Sciences from Jefferson State College. She is a Georgia native and currently lives in the Buckhead community of Atlanta with her two sons, Aiden and Dylan. Please join me in welcoming Phaedra Parks to this podium.
Thank you, Jansen, for that lovely introduction. Good morning. Good morning to the parents, families, Board of Regents, Dean Bo Rutledge, faculty, staff, and most of all, the 2024 graduating class of the University of Georgia School of Law. I want to welcome the graduates to the Alumni Association and the family of Georgia's most preeminent flagship institution of higher learning. I am Phaedra Parks, and while you heard the introduction, I am most honored to be a graduate of this law school and serve as the president of the Law School Association. I can feel the excitement in the room today, or it might be the jittery joes I drank. But I believe it's excitement because I'm looking at the graduates, and I know the excitement has to do with the journey that you just completed, the excitement about the road ahead, the excitement about creating your own path in life, and the excitement about not having to pay any more tuition. Or maybe your parents are more excited about that. I can remember my own day when I graduated, and it was very, very different from this because it was outdoors. It was very hot, very humid, and lots of bugs were involved in my ceremony. And I felt like an ice cream on a day in July because I was melting along with everyone else out there. But despite the humidity, the bugs, and the heat, that day ignited a lifelong relationship with the University of Georgia and the School of Law in particular that I have never left. And what I would say to you graduates today, as happy and as vibrant as you are, you extend your own life when you give to institutions that outlast it. And I'm going to say that again so you really catch what I'm saying. You extend your own life when you give to institutions that outlast it. And the institution like ours, the University of Georgia, that is great, will definitely outlast all of us with its greatness. And I'm hopeful that after today, and for days to come, decades and years, that you will choose to give back some of what you have been given, and that you will choose to help build this wonderful institution. You will choose to dedicate your life to not only service, but to making sure that this institution is great. Now, I know 84% of our graduates have secured jobs, and only 17 of our graduates haven't actually decided what they want to do. But as a woman who is from a family of 4 generations of graduates from this school, the University of Georgia, I can say that it affords you opportunities to do and be whatever you want to be. And our law school boasts everything from judges, governors, mayors, sole practitioners, to even people who choose to dip their baby toe into the entertainment pond and become the most fabulous, fateful trader of all. Because the University of Georgia does prepare us, and it connects us, and it cultivates leaders. And so no matter what you choose to do, with this preparation, you will be great. And so today is your day, and we have gathered in your honor to celebrate you, to pay tribute to your hard work, your dedication, your determination, your grit, and to your ultimate success. And the Alumni Association and I want you to know that our commitment is to your success. Our commitment is total, it is whole, and it is absolute. And it is so absolute that on yesterday, during our board meeting, I made a motion to put in a line item for $100,000 to help those who have loans repay them. And that $100,000 is not from the government. It is from donors, much like myself, who see the bright stars in your eyes and know that you will be successful. So you can thank us later, and I love flowers, red velvet cake, written notes, and anything fabulous. But I want to congratulate you, and I want to welcome you, the class of 2024, to the University of Georgia's alumni family. God bless you.
The Honorable Tamika R. Montgomery Reeves was born in Jackson, Mississippi, and graduated from Forest Hill High School. She received her undergraduate degree from the University of Mississippi in 2003 and was declared a graduate of the McDonald Barksdale Honors College. At the University of Mississippi, she was inducted into the Phi Beta Kappa Honor Society and the Phi Kappa Phi Honor Society. She's an academic scholar recipient, and she majored in political science, English, and Spanish. She also participated in numerous civil, social, and community service organizations. After college, she attended the University of Georgia School of Law and received her Juris Doctor in 2006. At the University of Georgia, she was awarded the Woodruff Law Scholarship. She served on the Journal of Intellectual Property and as a research and teaching assistant for numerous professors. While in law school, she discovered her passion for corporate litigation. That passion brought her to Delaware, where she served as a law clerk for Chancellor William B. Chandler III of the Delaware Court of Chancery. From 2007 to 2011, Judge Montgomery Reeves practiced in the Securities and Corporate Governance Department of Weil, Gotshal, and Manges in New York. In 2011, Judge Montgomery Reeves returned to Delaware to work with her mentor, Chancellor Chandler, and opened the Delaware offices of Wilson Sonsini. As a partner at Wilson Sonsini, Judge Montgomery Reeves focused her practice on corporate and complex commercial litigation. While in private practice, she frequently spoke and published on Delaware law and governance issues, and guest lectured at various law schools. In 2015, Governor Jack Markle appointed Judge Montgomery Reeves to the Delaware Court of Chancery. Through this historic appointment, she became the first African-American person and the second woman to serve as Vice Chancellor. Then in 2019, Governor John Carney made history by appointing Judge Montgomery Reeves to the Delaware Supreme Court, making her the first African-American person, the third woman, and the youngest person to serve as a justice. In 2022, President Joseph R. Biden appointed Judge Montgomery Reeves to the United States Court of Appeals for the Third Circuit. Judge Montgomery Reeves is the first African-American person from Delaware and the second African-American woman, with the first being appointed only a few months earlier to serve as a judge on the Third Circuit Court of Appeals. Through her service on the bench, Judge Montgomery Reeves has blazed trails and shattered ceilings for others to follow.
Mr. Gooding, thank you so much for that kind introduction. Provost Hu, Dean Rutledge, other distinguished members of the podium, faculty, staff, family, friends, and the graduating class. It is an honor to serve as commencement speaker for the class of 2024. First, I want to congratulate you all on this momentous occasion. I also want to take a moment to congratulate your parents, spouses, children, siblings, and all the other loved ones who have supported you in all the ways and in all the moments long before you made your way to Georgia Law. I also want to just take a moment to congratulate this class on their amazing accomplishments. I was reading about them and just so impressed with you. They include accomplishments like victories for clients in the Community Help Clinic, the Veterans Legal Clinic, and a $1.1 million settlement on behalf of clients in the Wilbanks Cease Clinic. And as a class, you've appeared before federal courts in the DC, 4th, and 9th Circuits, won multiple national championships for advocacy, and served on various boards furthering access to justice. Your accomplishments are too many to name in the short amount of time I have here today, but I just want to tell you how proud I am of you and how proud you should be of yourself for the amazing work you've already done here at the university and for your broader community. I remember sitting in your shoes not too long ago, at least it feels like it wasn't too long ago, and the incredible sense of accomplishment that I felt on my graduation day. I hope you all feel this in this moment. I also know the great sense of anticipation that I felt. I was filled with excitement about my next steps, but I wondered if I was truly prepared for the things that were to come. As you will soon find out, Georgia Law has prepared you to move into your life as a lawyer. I have no doubt that after you cross this stage, you will have the ability to do well, and maybe more importantly, the sense to do good. I have the utmost faith in your abilities because I personally know the value of a Georgia Law education. As you heard, I am a Georgia Law grad. I hire Georgia Law grads. In fact, I have one sitting in the audience now. And I even married a Georgia Law grad. Despite the fact that I don't doubt for one moment your abilities and your preparedness, I'd like to offer you a few words of advice. One thing that I'm often asked and that I often think about is, what would the current Tamika tell the new graduate Tamika if the two were to meet? What words of wisdom would she share? What are the important things I would want her to know as she's starting out in this new chapter of her life? And so this is what I hope to share with you today. Now, I'm a person who likes examples, and so I hope you'll bear with me as I give you examples from my life to demonstrate the points that I hope to make. As any of my law clerks will tell you, I also love a good roadmap. So I'm going to give you one today so you know where we're going and, more importantly, when we're close to the end. My advice to you is to strive for C's, 4 C's. I suspect that's something you were not told to do in law school, but I propose that you do it in your career. And the 4 C's that I want to talk to you about are connect, challenge, copy, and create. First, connect. The importance of connection is no doubt something that you have heard throughout your time in law school, but connection is a facet of your life and the practice of law that I cannot stress enough. Before law school, you had a bevy of connections to your family and your friends and your community. These connections, of course, have nurtured you to cross the stage today, and I'm sure many of your connections are sitting in the crowd. Nurture those relationships. These people will continue to help you as you deal with your struggles and celebrate you as you accomplish many more things in your career. And hopefully you will do the same for them. Relationships like this are invaluable, so despite the busy schedules and lives that you're gonna have, make sure you take time to foster them. Throughout law school, you also connected with your classmates and your professors. I'm sure a lot of these connections in the moment felt fleeting and maybe insignificant, but many of them won't be. And my own life has proven this to me time and time again. For example, I met my husband, Jeffrey Reeves, right here at law school. And I still remember the first time I met him. He was strutting in the law school in a full-on seersucker suit. I got to know him and learned that he was very smart and funny and thoughtful. But honestly, I had no clue what was going to happen when we left Georgia because, I had decided to move to Delaware and clerk. But here we are, 20 years later, back at UGA Law with 2 little boys. And I hope that for you. I hope you find that and you foster those relationships. Similarly, one of my longest friendships began right here with Bisa Ajanaku. I still remember the first time I met Bisa in law school, and we were study buddies, roommates, and the closest of friends. And she's been by my side through smiles and tears, births and deaths, wonderful career moves and terrible career news. Despite the fact that we don't live in the same city, we've leaned on each other as we've moved through our careers and lives. So I suggest to you that you should tend to your relationships in the years to come. Just as you all supported each other through cold calls and moot court or mock trial competitions, through OCIs, be there to support each other as you enter the career, into your career and the workforce, and as you climb your ladders of your career and navigate your personal lives. Being in the legal profession is a blessing, but it is not all smooth sailing. No matter what you choose to do in your legal career, there are going to be some rough days. There are going to be wonderful wins, and there'll be tough losses. It's important to have a network of people who can help you achieve your wins and who can help you learn from and overcome your losses. And it's equally important for you to do that for other people. Along with your peers, I would be remiss if I didn't speak about the importance of connecting with mentors. Again, this is something you've already started to do, but I encourage you to continue it. Some of you come from a long line of lawyers, and others of you are the first in your family to graduate from law school. Regardless of which bucket you may fall into, connecting with a good mentor can change your career and your life. When I first visited Georgia Law, I met a very nice professor, Professor Chuck R.T. O'Kelly. Professor O'Kelly told me all about the wonderful things Georgia Law had to offer and helped convince me that this was the place I should attend. When I got here, after I survived my first year of law school and Professor Coonan telling me to argue against myself, I took corporations, and that class piqued my interest in a different career path than I had planned on taking. Professor O'Kelly recognized this and suggested that I apply for a clerkship in the Delaware Court of Chancery, and he wrote my letter of recommendation, and I got the clerkship. And that clerkship really changed the trajectory of my career. And Professor O'Kelly has remained a mentor until this day. So I encourage you not to forget your professors. Your relationships with them need not and should not end today. Instead, nurture them and remain in touch. There is still so much that they can teach you. After all, they have been where you're trying to go. They can show you the path to success. And you should focus on how you can give back to those professors and the law school. Keep in mind the amazing clinics and other programs that the law school has. Keep in mind being a mentor to the students who are coming behind you. Just continue to build those healthy relationships that will help you in your career and will allow you to help others in theirs. Now, of course, relationships don't end with the people you've met in law school. As I mentioned, when I graduated from law school, I went on to clerk on the Delaware Court of Chancery, and this led to another invaluable relationship. I learned through that clerkship that I really did love corporate law as much as I thought, and I was able to work with an amazing jurist who was respected around the country for corporate law, and in a court that's respected in the world for corporate law. But what was unexpected for me was the true mentorship and relationship that developed from that clerkship. After my clerkship, I moved on to New York, but I stayed in touch with my judge, and he asked me to come back when he retired to open an office, a Delaware office of another national law firm. After I returned and worked with him for a few years, he sponsored me for partnership and then supported me through all 3 of my judicial appointments. The point of these examples is that nobody gets anywhere in life on their own. There will be family members, friends, mentors, and even acquaintances who will help you along the way. And you'll do the same for other people. You should approach each interaction as if it might be the beginning of a beautiful relationship or a life-changing mentorship, because you never know when it will be. Or as if you might be the very person that someone else is meant to meet. Some of your relationships will be fleeting, some of them will be lifelong, but every single one of your relationships will have something to teach you. Take a moment and learn the lesson. Nurture the relationships that are healthy and worth nurturing, and you and the world around you will be better for it. My second C, challenge. And I learned this one when I was clerking. When I started law school, I planned to practice in Jackson, Mississippi, go back home, or Birmingham, or Atlanta. I had never been to Delaware. I'm not even sure I could have picked Delaware out on a map. And then I received the offer to clerk. I had no family, no connections to Delaware, or in any of the surrounding states. And I was so nervous to go so far from home, and I questioned whether I should. That clerkship was not in my original plan. And to be completely honest, if my original plan had worked exactly like I planned it, I probably would not have applied for the clerkship. But sometimes doors are closed and windows are opened. Sometimes you get an opportunity that you didn't expect or that you didn't even ask for. And in those instances, even if you're nervous, maybe especially if you're nervous, I urge you to challenge yourself, to step out on faith, and to take a bet on yourself. In the moment, you probably won't be able to see all of the places and all of the opportunities that'll flow from the challenge you're facing. But in my experience, those are the times when life is better than anything you planned or imagined. I truly doubt I would be standing in front of you today as a federal judge on the Third Circuit Court of Appeals had I not accepted the challenge to clerk in the Delaware Court of Chancery. And my life and my career have been better than anything I'd planned for myself. The same can be true for you. So challenge yourself to leave your comfort zone, whether that's right here in Athens, Georgia, or across the country. Whether it's in a different role or with different people, it just might change your career, if not your life. Be open to challenges and be brave and bold in meeting challenges. Third, copy. Another thing you probably were told to avoid in law school. People often ask me, what should I do if I want to be a judge or partner? My answer is always the same, and I'll share it with you. As you enter the profession, I urge you to pretend you are who you want to become. Emulate those who are in the positions that you strive to occupy. Now, I don't necessarily mean that you should follow exactly in the footsteps of someone who's in the position you hope to occupy, because attorneys love to tell you one thing, is that they just kind of stumbled into their career. But what I mean is that you should emulate the decision-making rubric of those you admire. Don't just dress for the job you want, but act and speak and post and tweet as though you are already interviewing for the position and everything you've done and said and written is being examined. If you want to be a judge with your decisions at your crossroads, ask yourself, what would a judge do? Assume that the people in power had to help you get into that position are watching and govern yourself accordingly. Whether you want to be on the bench or arguing before the bench, in the boardroom or suing board members, act every day like you're already in that position. And let me pause here to say, you've heard me talk about mentors. If you are here today and you feel like, I haven't found that person just yet, if you see a person, reach out to them. So many people will be happy, more than happy to help you out. And if you reach out to a person and they tell you no, reach out to Dean Rutledge, ask him for my information, and reach out to me. And I will help you. And if I can't, I will find the person who can help you. Fourth and finally, create. Have the courage and the conviction to create a better community. After reading about your accomplishments, I know this is something that you've already started doing. You have already started to dedicate yourselves to helping others and making the community around you better, but it's something that you need to continue to do. It's a privilege and not a right to be an attorney. And attorneys have an immense amount of responsibility. Responsibility to the bar, to their clients, to their community, and to the world. As many of you know, many attorneys help to shape this state, our country, and the world. Attorneys help to create the great experiment of democracy. Brave attorneys fought to make sure it applied to the many and not just the few. And attorneys remain the protectors of the foundation of America. Justice, after all, is the guardian of liberty. Shortly, you all will take oaths. Oaths to uphold the Constitution of the United States, and oaths to uphold the constitutions of the states in which you're barred. As attorneys, what you're doing, what you're going to do, will be of the utmost importance. Whether you're arguing about constitutional rights before the United States Supreme Court, or arguing about someone's parental rights before a family court, take your role as counselor seriously. In the practice of law, you often meet people on one of the worst days of their lives. And it's a privilege to be trusted with the most precious and important and consequential matters in people's lives. So take the power and the responsibility that you have and use it for good. I also urge you to use the power and responsibilities to solve the problems that you see in the world. If you're dissatisfied with something, don't sit back and wait for someone else to solve your problems. Be the hero in your own story. Get up and get into the room where decisions are being made and help to create the change that you want to see. Create a better world wherever you are, whether you're in your local defender's office or the United States Attorney's Office, at a defense firm or a plaintiff's firm, in-house or at a university, on the board of a Fortune 500 company, or at a local library. I have the utmost belief that you can create a better world for all of us. So use your time and your talent to do just that. So to recap, the important things for you to remember when you leave here today are: 1, connect, both by nurturing the relationships you have today and by building new relationships with people you are yet to meet. 2, challenge yourself to step outside of your comfort zone. 3, copy the behaviors of those you most admire. And 4, create a better world for us all. Thank you for inviting me to be your commencement speaker. I've taken up a lot of your morning. I just have one last seat. Congratulations to the class of 2024.
Thank you, Judge Montgomery Reeves. It's an absolute pleasure to have you back in Athens and here at graduation sharing your wisdom with the class of 2024. I am Andrea Dennis. I'm a member of the faculty and Associate Dean of Faculty Development. It is my honor to speak to the class of 2024 on behalf of my esteemed colleagues. Knowing where I sit in the agenda, graduates, I promise my remarks to you will be brief, but before that, I want to talk for a moment with those in the audience, your loved ones, to share 3 things about these members of the law school community who have consumed so much of your time and energy during your journey to today. You have all witnessed firsthand what I'm about to say, but feel free to eavesdrop. First, UGA law faculty are here and do what they do because they love to teach and are experts at facilitating learning. They have chosen to make this their profession, and as such, they pour themselves into everything they do, from lecturing to leading experiential opportunities, from coaching to commenting on paper drafts, from consultations during office hours to casual conversations over coffee or tea in our cafe. Second, UGA law faculty create rigorous, stimulating, sometimes daunting, classroom environments and learning experiences for our students. Faculty expect a lot because it is their mission to prepare our students, our graduates, for careers as legal professionals, to be thoughtful advocates for their clients, and to lead as trustworthy and respected community members. Is it hard for students? Yes. Is it stressful for students? Yes. Is it uncomfortable for students? Yes. Is it worth it? Absolutely. At the end of a semester, at the end of a year, at the end of 3 years, at the end of their time with us, our students leave this law school space, but not our community, with the knowledge, skills, and abilities to safely enter the legal profession. Third, not only are UGA law faculty top-tier educators, they are also highly respected practitioners and scholars. Members of our faculty and our alum have completed judicial clerkships, practiced in law firms and community organizations, worked in businesses, and served with government agencies. They are engaged in research and advocacy projects that aim to solve the problems of our times. They push the boundaries of knowledge. They shape laws and policies. They increase compassion and understanding of the world. And when not teaching or researching, they are involved in a variety of local, state, national, and international organizations. In short, they are impressive role models for aspiring and experienced lawyers. With that, I ask to stand my colleagues, the dedicated, passionate, brilliant members of the UGA School of Law faculty. Thank you all for recognizing them and for the dedication and service to the law school and our graduates and our community. Now, class of 2024, I will be brief. On behalf of the faculty, well done. And thank you for allowing us the privilege of working with you and getting to know you. We have witnessed your dedication to learning. We have marveled at your intellectual curiosity. We have facilitated your efforts to lead. We have encouraged your desire to serve. We have seen the results of your hard work, your growth, and we are honored to include you among our graduates. So congratulations, class of 2024, from the faculty of UGA School of Law. So now, it's time. What y'all have been waiting for, the degrees. Select members of the faculty will play a role one last time in your journey. It is a tradition that members of the School of Law faculty read the names of our graduates. In a moment, you will hear the names for 3 sets of degree candidates from faculty who are seated to my left. Professor Allison Hale, the faculty advisor for the Master in the Study of Law program, will read the names of the MSL candidates. Christopher Bruner, the Stembler Family Distinguished Professor in Business Law and faculty co-director of the Dean Rusk International Law Center, will read the names of students from countries worldwide who are earning their Master of Laws degree. And finally, Usha Rodriguez, University Professor and Kilpatrick Chair of Corporate Finance and Securities Law, and Dan Coonan, University Professor, Meigs Distinguished Teaching Professor, and Caldwell Chair in Constitutional Law, both of whom the class of 2024 selected as faculty marshals, will read the names of the Juris Doctor candidates.
All right, members of the class of 2024, let's make some history. Provost 2, on behalf of the faculty of the University of Georgia School of Law, I am pleased to introduce to you the candidates for the degree of Master of Study of Law, Masters of Law, and Juris Doctor. Will the candidates please rise so that the Provost may formally confer your degrees on you?
Good morning, everyone. Members of the class of 2024, today marks the successful conclusion of your studies at the University of Georgia. I congratulate you on this significant milestone achievements. I hope you will stay connected to the faculty and friends who have supported you during your journey. You are receiving a degree from one of the nation's leading public law schools, the University of Georgia School of Law. I encourage you to use your knowledge and talent to benefit individuals, communities, and society as a whole. It is now my great honor to officially confer the degree that you have worked so hard for. By the authority granted by the President of the University of Georgia and by the Board of Regents of the University System of Georgia, I now confer you the degrees of Master in the Study of Law, Master of Laws, or Juris Doctor, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto are pertaining. Congratulations, and please be seated.
Okay, families, this is a time where we break the decibel meter. So, for those of you in the front row, If you could go ahead and follow the directions of the row marshals. As your name is called, cross the stage. And I would like to ask Judge Montgomery Reeves, Provost Hu, and President Parks to join me in congratulating you individually.
Gerald J. Adams II. Caitlin J. Booth. Vanessa Y. Buckner. Allison D. Eckmark. Imani N. Holligan Pearsall. Ryan J. Hunt. Mark A. Minichello. Kara S. Malloy. Jeremiah H. Williams. Letitia M. Williams.
Victoria Agbakuru. Iman Abdallah Ali. Naina Bishnoi. Gracia Varinia Rojas Mina Bogliotti. Cornelius Bulanov. Savili Elizarov. Ngeson C. Kawame. Bogdan Krivuts. Lydia A. Larty. Agostina Calamare Dominguez Molet. Sing-E Nia. Amanda Suarez Pinto. Shivani Ravi Prakash. Mushfiqar Rahman. Raisa dos Santos Bastos Rolim. Jonas Romer. Quraisha Sherzad.
Max J. Abramson. Alex C. Amato. Blake M. Enickstead. William M. Anthony. Andrew N. Arrington. Lydia Atkinson. Emma C. Baggett. Caroline A. Bailey. Stephen H. Baker. N. Jacqueline Beeman. Crosby R. Becker. Sabrina Bedell. Madeline E. Blair. Dorley G. Blanton. James G. Boza. Shepard Bridges. Julian W. Campbell. Jackson D. Capes. Caroline M. Capps. M. Larkin Carden. Olivia P. Carlson. Maggie E. Carr. John A. Carter. Sidney L. Cedarboom. Megan K. Cherry. Abigail A. Courville. Brennan M. Cox. Jillian C. Cox. Riley C. Kramer. Evan D. Crowder. Jennifer M. Danker. Caitlin M. Davis. Delaney R. Davis. Jessica L. Davis. Shelby L. DeLisi. Adrian B. DeSantis. Ashlyn N. Dewberry. Andrew M. Dietz. Joshua I. Dillard. Bobby Dong. Joshua E. Eastwood. Kenneth R. Ellington. Hannah M. Esserman. Jonathan T. Fagundes. Mackenzie B. Ferguson. Sandon X. Fernandez. Allison J. Fine. Patricia A. Fours. BB Jeanette Fricks Chavez. Parker G. Furman. Madeline W. Galbraith. E. Hope Garrison. Matthew A. Gaudiosi. Gray L. Giddens. William M. Gooding. Cameron R. Goodman. Amanda B. Graham. William A. Greisner IV. Emma M. Grandalski. Sarah C. Gillot. Taylor K. Hanley. Isabel E. C. Hale. Kaylee A. Haney. Leela Y. Harrison. Matthew N. Hashemi. J. Brianna Hayes. Andrew C. Haygood. Michael A. Head. Austin L. Hedrick. Jordan M. Heath. Caroline M. Henriksen. Alex S. Hertz. Juliana M. Hightower. Michael J. Hines. Madeline B. Haas. Thomas M. Huff. Brady T. Jackson. Matthew R. Jacobs. Maxwell B. Jark. Hannah M. Jellema. Pooja Jayakumar. Laura Jimenez Garcia. Rashad J. Johnson. Catherine L. Johnston. Holly C. Jordan. Alyssa M. Kiefer. M. Jansen Killian. Kirsten E. King. Sean M. Clausen. Eli F. Klenberg. Yekaterina Ko. Sophia A. Korn.
E. Reed Latanzi. Fletcher K. Law. Hannah Lee. Bailey G. Lendborg. Marshall D. Long. Erica L. Love. Connor Lusnia. Stanley A. Machechek III. Elena A. Mastas. Amari R. Marable. Nambiko S. Marshall. Sean A. Mason. Cullen McDonough. James S. McKinney. Mia A. McKnight. Mary K. McLean. Braden T. Meadows. Jacob O. Medoff. Nyla A. Meese. Aiden Meister. Caitlin A. Mendoza. Natasha Merida Perez. Jacob G. Merrill. Margaret E. Morrison. Savannah M. Mowry. W. Paxton Murphy. Bridget L. Neighbors. Lindsay S. Neal. Justin D. Nixon. Kendra H. S. Aiglana. Hannah A. Omar. Robert G. Otley, Jr. Sydney K. Parrish. Ginny J. Park. Akila T. Parker. Joshua H. Patton. Hunter T. Payne. Ashlyn S. Payton. So nice. Huang Vi Sydney Fan. Matthew D. Phillips. Emerson Phipps. A. Sophie Polo. Evan E. Porter. Benjamin K. Price. Kendall B. Priest. Ethan M. Princenthal. Anna T. Ratterman. Allison V. Reed. Grace M. Rapella. Julian J. Reams. Jack B. Richardson. Brian A. Riera Pena. Elena G. Rogers. Sepand Sobirian. Andrew B. Saccone. Isaac D. Sauls. John C. Schlafly. Warren M. P. Schmidt. Peyton F. Scott. William C. Seidel. Maya F. Sems. Kaylor E. Sexton. Megan A. Sharp. Jake R. Schatzer. Connor B. Shockley. Miriam A. Shockery. Benjamin A. Siegel. Marcelo Silva. Hope E. Skypeck. Samuel D. Smith. Alexandra M. Smolyar. Laura J. St. Martin. Sierra H. Stanfield. Justin T. Stevens. Richard F. Stroud, Jr. Zoe K. Taylor. Gary L. Thomas. Justin T. Thornton. Madison D. Tucker. Joseph V. Valenza. Anna E. von Spakovsky. Cameron Q. Ward. Raiden L. Washington. Alexis M. Watson. Amanda F. Watson. Robert G. Wedge. John N. Weston. Danielle White. Isabel M. White. Meredith A. Williams. Ted W. Williams. Megan Y. Wilson. Emma K. Wimberly. Claire R. Wojciechowski. Katie F. Wooten. Sarah M. Young.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the University of Georgia School of Law class of 2024. I want you all to know that I'm going to miss you and that I really care about you. We're going to exit the stage in a second, but before we do, I want to thank one group of people who it's easy to overlook. Every flower you see on the stage, every camera person you see in place, the initials on the blue tape, that does not happen without a lot of unsung heroes. Lisa Mathis, who has run this graduation as long as I've been dean, Laura Pulliam, who's been chief of staff as long as I've been dean, and many others. And so, for all the unsung heroes who helped make today's memories possible, I hope you'll join me in one more round of applause. So in a moment, the music will begin. When it does, the platform party will exit down the stairs to my right. It will be followed by my wonderful colleagues in the faculty, by the graduates recessing row by row, and following the recess, guests, you may join your loved ones right outside this room. Thank you again, and God bless.